It looks like we're beginning to see a breakout in silver. It's up $1 today, once again crossing that $30 an ounce mark. What is causing silver to move higher, and where can it go from here? Let's get into it. SD Bullion is giving away a monster box of 2024 Tree of Life silver coins. Sign up today at sdbullion.com/sweepstakes. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. Here we are looking at the 1 week chart for silver. And if we go back a week, you can see silver was sitting at $28.72. It is now sitting at $30.64. So we're up about $2 in 1 week. Silver moving up a whole dollar just today. So silver is definitely on the move. I expected volatility this week. In fact, here's a clip from my video just 2 days ago. I do expect this to be an action-packed week with volatility in gold and silver price. So there you go. Now, I didn't know if silver was going to move higher or lower. Clearly, we are getting the answer today. And in fact, silver is not the only thing moving up. If we take a look at gold, we can see gold is doing very well. Gold has moved up $37 just today. It is now sitting at $2,372 an ounce. So gold is approaching that $2,400 mark. We could see, if this trajectory continues, a new all-time high for gold in as little as a week. So keep your fingers crossed. Now, I do want to point out that platinum and palladium are both moving higher. Platinum only moved up about $7. Now remember, platinum was higher than palladium just a few weeks ago. That is not the case anymore. Palladium is on a tear. It's up almost $40 today, sitting at $1,078. I mean, look at this. A week ago, palladium was at $933 an ounce. So it's up like $150 in a week. We'll see where it goes from here. Let's take a quick look at the gold-silver ratio. That is once again moving lower. So this is indicating that yes, both gold and silver are moving higher, but silver is moving faster than gold. This is what we expect to see when they're both moving up, because silver is more inversely related to the dollar. So when the dollar moves down and we see gold and silver move higher, silver usually makes that faster move. This is what we are seeing today. Right as the market opened, the dollar fell off a cliff. Now, there's a number of reasons for the dollar falling lower, but I just want to point out, if we go to the 1 day chart here, it's literally like as the market is opening, the dollar is already falling. And then you have a few other instances where economic data came out and the dollar fell even further. So the dollar is getting crushed at the moment, which is in part why we are seeing gold and silver soar much higher. So what was this economic data that caused the dollar to be crushed? Here we are looking at the unemployment insurance weekly claims. So this is how many Americans are claiming unemployment on a week-to-week basis. And I'm not going to get into all of the numbers because it can be extremely boring. But what you need to know is it went up. So an increase of 4,000 from the previous week's revised level. So unemployment is going up, which means the economy is not doing so hot, but this was not the only economic data to come out today. The ADP National Employment Report shows that private sector employment increased by 150,000 jobs in June. Now, on the surface, you would read this and think, that's great, they created 150,000 jobs. However, economists were forecasting this number to come in at 170,000 jobs. So it is lower than expected, once again showing that the economy is not doing so well. Also, when we look at increases in pay year over year, pay gains for job stayers were 4.9% in June, the slowest pace of growth since August 2021. So look at that. If you're staying at your job, you are getting a small raise on average, but it's the slowest pace of growth in 3 years. So you should be getting a larger raise. You're not getting that, once again, showing that the economy is not doing so hot. One other reason that the dollar moved lower today at open was the fact that Jerome Powell gave a speech yesterday, and in this speech he seemed to infer that he's more open to lowering rates sooner rather than later, especially with all of the economic data that we have seen today. Check this out.
We've made quite a bit of progress in bringing inflation back down toward target. While the labor market has remained strong and growth has continued, we want that process to continue. I think the last reading and the one before it in inflation, the one before it to a lesser extent, do suggest that we are getting back on a disinflationary path. We want to be more confident that inflation is moving sustainably down toward 2% before we start the process of reducing how tight our policy is, of loosening policy. That's what we've said, and what we'd like to see is more data like what we've been seeing recently. We'd also like to see the labor market remain strong. We've said that if we saw the labor market unexpectedly weakening, that is also something that could call for a reaction.
So when we move over to the FedWatch tool, we can see not much change for July 31st. I just showed this in my video a couple of days ago. It's about the same, 91.2% chance of rates remaining the same. However, we do see a change in September. Now it's only a 27% chance of rates remaining the same, so a greater chance that rates will begin to fall in September, and I think that's what's going on right now. Essentially, the markets are hedging their bets that we are going to see a rate cut as early as September this year, and once again, when rates go down, this is bullish for precious metals. Also, the assumption that rates are going to go down is very bullish for precious metals. This will preemptively weaken the dollar, which is what we are seeing today. And then obviously once rates go down, that's going to weaken the dollar even further. And as we've seen time and time again, a weaker dollar means stronger silver, stronger gold. So I do expect that we will see silver continue to move higher. In fact, I think this is just the start. Silver has been doing very well this week, and honestly, it had no problem breaking through that $30 level. There wasn't even any resistance. So if silver can stay above $30 an ounce and build a base here, we'll have a good place to launch higher from once we eventually see the confirmation that rates are going to start coming down. Now, in my opinion, this all has to do with rates. That's what's going on right now. That is the biggest mover for both gold and silver. I want to make wise, prudent, and informed choices. So I would urge all of you, do your own research. Don't just listen to people on the internet. Actually look into this stuff for yourselves, see what's going on, and make the best choice you can. But ultimately, I think whenever you're trading fiat currency for real money, you're making a good trade. And I think down the road, in the next 10, 20 years, you're going to look back and say, wow, I really made a good trade back then. So anyway, that's what's going on with gold and silver. Hey, tomorrow is Independence Day. So I want to wish all of you a very happy and safe celebration tomorrow. We're going to be flying all of our American flags. We're going to go watch fireworks, spend some time with the family. Maybe I'll cook up some burgers, some hot dogs. We're going to have a good time. I hope you have a good time as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.